Hey guys, if you're new here and you like what I'm putting out, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you never miss an upload. So, Zenkaiger episode 14. I'm gonna admit, I really enjoyed this week's episode compared to last week and the other ones we've been getting recently because I've been getting a bit of a Zenkaiger fatigue with everything going on. Everything's been too wacky and goofy, nothing too serious, but this week's episode, it seems like the plot is moving along just a little bit. Not a lot, but we did get a moment and some character development for our rangers in this episode. So, the whole premise of this week's episode is Zenkaiser versus TwoKaiser, and the fight was very, very entertaining, I will say that, but we'll get into the fight in just a little bit. So, the episode opens up with Stacy making a deal with Zox saying, hey, if you kill Zenkaiser, I'll let you come to Toji Tendo and grab the gears you're looking for so you can save your siblings. And Zox is like, that's a very interesting deal, I might take up your offer. But the whole scene when Stacy is speaking to TwoKaiser was filmed very, very weird. And when I mean filmed very weird, there's this one weird shot that we got where Stacy is walking towards the camera, and the lens and the angle they use on him walking towards the camera is very, very weird, but it only takes 1 or 3 steps towards the camera, and then it quickly cuts to something else with them talking. So it was a weird angle that they did for the episode for Zenkaiser. So the character that gets spotlight on this episode is TwoKaiser, because TwoKaiser is slowly joining the team, I want to say. He hasn't officially joined the team, he's there for roll calls and helps out whenever needed, but he's sort of like an anti-hero on the Zenkaiger team where him and his sister are working towards their goals to rescue their siblings. So he's not an official member of the team and he hasn't had that realization that he needs to join them, but hey, I like TwoKaiser, he's got a cool ship. If he's just going to be doing wacky TwoKaiser things, then I'm all for it, because TwoKaiser is a fun character, but I do wonder when that gimmick is going to run out eventually, because he is the cool character of the show, and the one that they put a lot of focus on because, yeah, he is the Gokaiger homage, and everyone loved Gokaiger. So, TwoKaiser and Zenkaiser have their little duel, and their duel, I gotta admit, it was a lot of fun seeing them fight. The fight scenes and the choreography for the fight scenes were very, very fun, very, very interesting, and they did a lot of interesting moves in this fight using the gears. I mean, one of the highlights was TwoKaiser using the form change in the battle, and not only that, using the Q Ranger key to go giant and start stomping about, letting him win the battle. So, this fight scene between TwoKaiser and Zenkaiser, yes, we've seen it before here and there. This one wasn't as serious, it was built up to be serious, but it was really a ruse the whole time by the good guys catching on to the bad guys' plan. So their fight was very, very enjoyable, I will say that, but I do wonder if they're going to fight serious sometime later down the line when their ideals crash, but I don't think that's going to be the case because they've got a common foe, which is the Toji Tendo and Stacy, so who knows when these two characters are going to fight eventually. So when TwoKaiser supposedly kills Kaito, the next scene coming up was like kind of hilarious for me because we've got the other rangers and they're mourning the loss of their friend, but the way they handle it is they're sobbing really loudly and like rolling all over the place, and it was, I know it's meant to be a sad moment, you're meant to think Kaito's dead, he's gone for good, but with the overacting of the voice actors and the suit actors just rolling around on the ground, I found it quite hilarious, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if they were overacting because they knew of the plan the whole time, but either way, it was kind of funny seeing them just roll all over the ground crying and stuff like that. It was really wacky, really silly, and it got a laugh out of me. But the next scene that got a laugh out of me, there was a couple, is when they have the battle with Stacy and the grunts and a bunch of other stuff. There's a scene of Flint and she's on a rock because she was cheering for TwoKaiser in the battle. And she's on a rock and she's got her revolvers and she's just firing at the not the monsters of the week, but the grunts. And she's just saying bang, 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 and that got a laugh out of me. But the biggest highlight of this episode, apart from the Zord battle was pretty good, but it was when Stacy summons evil coins or evil clones of Jakku, and Kaido gets blown away, he gets knocked back, and things aren't looking good for him, and then they move on TwoKaiser, and TwoKaiser's like, well, I've got this covered, and he summons Big One, and then he's able to use the power of Big One and turn the other Jakku Rangers against Stacy. And the whole reason why is because Jakku in Big One in Jakku is the true leader who becomes the true leader in the Sentai later down the line. He becomes the sort of like what Tommy did in Power Rangers, where the White Ranger became the leader eventually. If I remember correctly, that's what happens with Jakku in that Sentai, or Big One in Jakku. So that's what happens, and that got a laugh out of me where he was able to turn him against him. That was pretty cool. So the Zord fight, or the Mech fight with Stacy, or the Stacy Battle Zord, Robo Stacy, that was really cool, and that mech got blown up at the end of the episode, so we won't be seeing that for any much longer, or probably not at all, which they built it up to be a big thing, and then it gets destroyed. But hey, it is a mech, they can rebuild it. Sentai is known for having lots of mechs, so no doubt about it, Stacy will probably come back with an even bigger and badder mech to fight our heroes, so maybe we'll see that later down the line. So the scene after they blow up the mech, that was really well shot, where it was filmed at nighttime. You got the flames and stuff for lighting. That was really cool. I enjoyed seeing that. That was really well done. So Stacy is learning that the power of friendship conquers all, and that's why he can't defeat TwoKaiser and Zenkaiger in the episode. So I do wonder what Stacy's story is going to be moving forward. Yes, he's the antagonist, but I get the feeling once we reach the end game of Zenkaiger, he's going to learn that, hey, I'm human all along, I should fight with these guys, or I'm going to sacrifice myself. I get the feeling that's the storyline he's going for, where he's going to learn, hey, I'm human all along, what am I doing fighting on this side? So I get the feeling we're going to see that later down the line in Zenkaiger. So the episode ends with a massive party at Kaido's place. Everyone's friends, everyone's smiling, and it seems like everyone is getting along at the end of the episode. So overall, I really enjoyed this episode of Zenkaiger compared to last week's, and it's like I mentioned at the start of the review, I feel like this episode was more tolerable because there was no wacky monster of the week, there was no gimmick, it was straight plot, and we got to focus on our main heroes without wacky hijinks ensue. Yeah, there was a couple of wacky moments here and there in the episode, but it wasn't taking away from the main plot. So this episode was a lot of fun to watch, and I can't wait to see what happens next in Zenkaiger. It looks like next week we're back to Monster of the Week, but it looks like it's going to be a wacky, silly Monster of the Week where everything's going retro, so hopefully that episode won't be too cringe and boring for me, but we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll like it, I don't know, but I'm hoping with Zenkaiger we can move forward with the plot just a little bit more, because when we're 14 episodes in, 15 next week, so we've got to get into a big plot line sooner or later, because like I've said, it seems like we've just had wacky hijinks ensue for the past couple of weeks. So when are we going to get to the serious stuff? Yes, this week was a little bit serious, but are we going to get a little bit dark and crazy like Kira Major? Because I've been watching Kira Major, but that's a story for another day. That's a review for another day. But anyways, Zenkaiger episode 14, I enjoyed it quite a fair bit, and I'll be back next week with my review of Zenkaiger episode 15. With that said, that's going to bring this video to a close. Special thanks to all the members such as Swagger4. If you want to get your name shouted out like Swagger4 over here, become a Zord tier member or higher for special perks on the channel and stuff like that. With that said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, take care, and have a wonderful day or night. Bye bye.